the first season of the Sunday SITREP. It's not just a tournament, it's a brotherhood.
What is going on, everybody? Sorry, Nick, I kind of cut you out there on accident. Wrong button. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the third episode of the Sunday SITREP. Today, we are going to dive into AFFL Virginia. But before we get into that, Nick, do you want to talk about the Q&A we're going to do here?
Yeah, so we're going to do a Q&A where you guys can ask any questions you want, whether it's about the league, about Virginia, things pertaining to your state, whatever you want. Feel free to ask them. Put them in the comments. We will get to them as soon as we can. We'll try and do our best to get to every question. But yeah, feel free to ask whatever you like.
Yeah. We'll definitely save those and add them. And then to our giveaway that we're doing every week, make sure I've seen a few guys comment on the Facebook posts for the giveaway. You got to comment on this live stream for it to count. So it's already started counting. Make sure you put in hashtag the SITREP, just like it is right there on the screen. But don't forget to like, share, and then comment that so that you can be entered for a chance to win. I haven't done a good job of showing everything, but today, or what we've been giving away and what we're going to continue giving away is we've got bottles, 2 bottles of the Hank Parker Southern Fusion barbecue sauce in the gold flavor and the original flavor. We have a neck gaiter that with the Armed Forces Fishing League. It's on both sides, I believe. Yeah, it is. Keep the wind off your face and keep the bugs out of your mouth. If you're down here in South Carolina running down the river first thing, you need that. And then the last thing we have is this brand new, the Sunday SITREP hat we just got from Southern Goon yesterday. I've only got 10 of them, so they're probably going to be limited edition for now. So make sure y'all get in there right now by dropping hashtag the SITREP in the comments, just like it's spelled right there. I'll leave it up for a little bit so everybody can throw it in there.
So make sure when you do the hashtag for the giveaway, it is exactly like you see on the screen right now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Not hashtag Mr. Halbig. Hashtag the SITREP. I like it though. So let's before we dive into Virginia Brigade, let's talk about a couple of the upcoming events we have. We didn't have anything this weekend, so we don't have any tournament results this weekend. However, next weekend we have 13 July, we have the South Carolina Open on Lake Murray out of the Larry Kuhn ramp. That's our second of the summer series. And then on the 20th, we have the Louisiana Opens on Toledo Bend starting up. Still tentative. We're going to have Zach Myatt on next weekend for this episode to dive into Louisiana, and we'll have for sure dates and times by then, hopefully, on when he's going to do that. And then, Nick, y'all got your last qualifier on the 27th on Ossipee up there in New Hampshire.
Is that our last one? I think we have one more. Yeah, we got one more after that.
Yeah, I lied. Yeah, that's your number 4.
You just threw me off.
Yep, it threw me off too as soon as I said it. Yeah. So that'd be an exciting derb. Y'all are the only ones still running qualifiers.
We start fishing by the time you guys are ending usually.
Right. Everybody else's seasons are over for this year. So y'all are still trying to settle out your points and figuring out who your team of the year is going to be. Man, dude, I'm still excited for the national championship. I think it's going to be
a good time.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm really stoked for it.
Just to meet everyone, man. That's what I'm most excited about.
For sure. Just getting the guys together and having that deal. So I see we have 12 people on now. I think when we were talking about the Q&A session, I don't think we had that many people on. So just to rehash that real quick, we are doing a Q&A session at the end of this after we talk with Dave. So if you guys have questions for us or Dave or whoever, throw them in the comments now. We're going to save them as we're going through the show, and then we'll come back to them at the end of the show. Cool. Well, it looks like Dave's ready in the backstage. You ready to get to him, Nick?
Yeah, and like you were saying, feel free to ask any questions. We want you guys to feel like you know the directors in each state. So this is something for you to get to know them on a personal level. So whatever questions pop into mind, feel free to fire them away.
Right. As long and with AFFL specific questions too, not always just about the director. If you guys have any questions, really, sling them and we'll answer them. We'll do our best. All right, Dave, you ready to rock?
I'm ready.
Let's do it, man. So we brought you on. Last year was y'all's first season up in Virginia.
Yes.
Right. So we're gonna get to that. I don't know why I started with that. I was looking at the wrong part of the outline. Look, we're gonna get to Virginia, but let's get to know you first, or get to know the Virginia Brigade. But let's get to know you as the director first. So tell us a little bit about your military first responder background, because you've got both and DoD.
Okay.
I mean, we were talking offline. You're the trifecta of
I'm the
this.
trifecta. So when I was 17 years old, I dropped out of high school in the 12th grade and joined the Air Force. I spent 12 years in the Air Force, was offered a civilian law enforcement job in Virginia. So I accepted that and I retired from there. I was a captain with the agency. I retired and went to work for the Department of Defense. Of course, when I went to work for the government, it was time Federal Investigative Services. Then it went to NBIB. And now, of course, we're under the Department of Defense.
Gotcha.
And then I came on board with Nick and you the second year now. I just happened to come across AFFL one time when I was doing some research. And I'm like, hey, do they have this in Virginia?
Yep. It's a good state for it. I mean, your area is perfect right there in Norfolk.
It really is.
It's kind of like where you cover that whole area. I mean, you cover the whole eastern part of Virginia, but
we do.
We have what, 2 events on the James River or off the James River? Right?
No. So we have Chick Lake and Chick River. They're separated by a dam that you can go through.
Gotcha.
If you want to go through the levee. However, we originally didn't have 5 tournaments this year. We had 4 in an open, but the very first tournament of the year, we had 30-mile-an-hour winds and downpour. So half of the anglers or half the team said, "Hey, we're not fishing in that." So I went ahead and kept that tournament and then added one at the same location the following week. So that brought in 2 tournaments. They were back to back, but it gave us 5 for the qualifier for the year. The following week, weather wasn't much better either, but the 5 teams that didn't fish the first week did fish the second week. So, it leveled out. And then we've had a steady attendance ever since then.
Gotcha.
Matter of fact, we haven't had any rain on any tournament since then.
Man, that's a blessing.
That's a blessing.
I know Nick didn't have that luck.
We were
2
overdue.
weekends ago.
Yeah, we were overdue. We had the same situation as Dave, and yeah, it was our time.
Yeah.
Got you. I see a couple of questions already rolling in here. We'll move those to the back end.
Yeah, just real quick, I just want to touch one real quick. The jersey applications. Make sure when you guys fill out those applications, get those to your tournament director, whoever is the director for your state. So just fill them out, email them over, and we'll get it taken care of for you.
100%.
Hey, do we have PDF copies of those?
Yeah, I sent them to the league email address that you guys have. I can send them to the other ones.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, for sure. I might not have emailed those out. So if you're one of my guys, I might have just emailed you the pictures. So my apologies. I'll get y'all the good one.
No, you sent them out. You sent them out. We got them.
Oh, okay. Jay Johnson, I sent you yours. I sent you and Ben Black. I emailed them to you.
Right.
But
unfortunately, my mail didn't convert. They're not PDF in my mail.
Maybe I sent them as pictures.
We might have to, adjust
They'll
that.
work.
Yeah, for sure. We'll get it squared away.
So, Dave, why did you join the Air Force out of all the other branches?
My brother went in the Air Force just before me. And
fair enough.
You know what? I heard the Air Force really takes care of their people, and we have great accommodations. Unless you're a
Yeah.
cop. If you're a cop in the Air Force,
It ain't
you
much
get the
better
worst
being on the
dorms.
maintenance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you get the worst dorms. You get the worst everything.
Yeah.
But it was still, it's the best thing I ever did in my life. Join the Air Force, especially career-wise.
Yeah. I mean, so you were security forces.
I was.
What was your like major role? Like, were you, did you get to do it? You were 12 years. So did you get to branch off in Academ at all, or K9 get to do any of those special
No,
duties?
I didn't. I applied for K9. A buddy of mine that I went in with at the same time was selected for K9. I was not. I was hoping to travel the world the first time. My first location, they sent me home to a base in Virginia at Langley for 5 years. So then I transitioned out to Albuquerque, New Mexico. Then I went overseas to the United Kingdom. Then I came back to Scott Air Force Base, and then I got out.
So maybe a couple good assignments, couple not so good assignments. It sounds
Yeah,
like.
you know what? I loved every assignment I had. Even when we deployed, it was great.
Even Albuquerque, I've heard some pretty rough things about
Loved it.
Albuquerque.
Well, you
Really?
understand, I'm old. I was there in the 80s.
That's fair. That's fair.
It was beautiful.
Yeah, I've got a buddy out there right now, and he's not a huge fan.
No.
But
I was out
I've
there
heard the
4 months
Langley
ago.
areas. I've heard Langley area is really nice. I've got a couple buddies up that way that, or that were up that way that love it. Bob, Brett. I don't know how to say that. I'm not even going to try to say that. I'm
Freschetti?
sorry, Bob. Freschetti. Got you. Is he one of your anglers?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, he's one of yours up there, Nick.
Yep.
Gotcha. I've heard some awesome things about there. I mean, it looks like it's a good base to be fishing. I mean, you got the James River right there. You have all the little runoffs of
Yeah,
that.
the James River, Newport News Reservoir. So when I was in the Air Force in the 80s, I wasn't really big into fishing. I was really big into fishing when I was growing up. Wrote letters to all the companies, and they sent you free patches back in the 70s. But then when I joined the Air Force, I was on a deployment team. So we were just so busy all the time that I didn't even own a boat. And I didn't buy my first bass boat until 2007.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, believe that? 2007, the first time I bought my first bass boat.
So that's where
And then
this
from
all
that
started.
point on, it's been constant.
So were you in Virginia then, like where you're at now?
Yes. Langley from me, where I live now, is about an hour and 20 minutes.
Oh, I got you. Okay. I thought you were further east than that for some reason.
No, I'm in between Hampton, Virginia, and Fredericksburg, Virginia.
Okay. I got you. So when did so let's talk about like the tournament bass fishing, right? And your bass fishing experience. So we've got your military and your first responder deal. Now we know when you started like bass fishing for real. When did you start like tournament experience? Like when did you start?
My schedule was pretty hectic. So I belong to a electric series because I have an electric only bass boat. So I belong to that series. I've been fishing that since I don't even know how far back. It probably 2014, maybe a little bit longer back. And then I went and bought a bass boat. And back in 2008, I bought my boat. Bought 2008, and then I bought a 19-foot bass boat in 2016 and started fishing the Bass Pro Shop tournaments in North Carolina, Virginia. It's the Big Bass Tournament. Started fishing those along with the electric series. Then I got involved in the American Bass Association in Virginia. Then I got involved with BLF this year. So I was fishing every Saturday from March to September. And then 2 years ago, I bought my Nitro. I got rid of my 19-foot and bought the Nitro. And pretty much ever since then, The only time I'm not going to be in the tournament this year is I'm not fishing July or August.
Got you. Too
Don't
hot.
blame you.
Too hot.
Yeah, too
Plus,
hot.
I don't want fish kill.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm very big on making sure those fish stay alive.
Oh, it's
And
tough, man. It
it's hot.
really is. Yeah, down here, I mean, you gotta like when we have these summer derbs, I've got 2-3 bags of ice in the boat in the cooler to make sure
Mhm.
I'm icing them fish up. Whole bottle of G juice, trying to take as much care of them as I can. Running that live well nonstop. It ain't easy taking care of them this time of year for sure.
No.
And yourself, like staying hydrated, Gatorade.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to. It gets to you quick, for
It
sure. I
does.
know. When we have my club, I fish like the little club we fish around here. When we have the July and August tournaments till 3 o'clock, by the end of the day, I'm grumpy. I'm grumpy. But
And when it's 95 degrees out, it's even worse.
oh yeah,
I'm ready to go at noon.
right.
Days like
I hear
last
that.
Saturday, it's good to be the state director because I get to come in early. I
feel
was
like
ready.
I'm
I was
getting-
ready 2:00 at 1:15 to come in.
I feel like I'm getting called out here by this comment, John Marr. I seen your comment earlier, Mar. So Mar and I have been together for a long time, and he just left me a couple years ago to go to Utah. We deployed together a couple times, and he said, "Where can I find some bass in Utah?" I don't think Utah has bass, Mar. You might want to look into fly fishing or golf.
Where's the base in Utah?
It's Ogden, just north of Salt Lake City. Beautiful area. I've been up there. It's Hill Air Force Base. It's a gorgeous area, but it's definitely not got a lot of bass fishing. A lot of streams, a couple little reservoirs, but nothing
Yeah.
crazy.
Might have to go out of state for that one.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's some down in like, from what I understand, there's some reservoirs in southern Utah that's pretty good.
They're pretty
I'm not
small. I got a buddy that
Yeah.
lives in southern Utah, and yeah, there is some, but they're small. I think most people in southern Utah go to Arizona for
That makes
bass
sense.
fishing,
For Havasu and those lakes out there.
mead, and all that.
You want-
yeah.
Mhm.
You want to know the top 5 fishing locations in Utah?
Bass
Spin
Pro
my-
Shops tank.
Yeah.
Lake Powell,
No.
believe it or not.
Oh yeah. I forget about
Yeah.
Lake Powell. Yeah.
Sand Hollow. I Googled it, by the way.
Oh, thought you'd been there or something.
Well,
I know.
no. I've had 2 trips to Utah that I did not make in the last 2 years. So
Got you. So so we're on this like kind of we went off the deep end there a little bit, but I mean that can lead us into our next point here. So we're getting to know you. What is your bucket list, right? Like if you had a bucket list place, you had any species, any lake, anywhere in the world right now, no dollar limit, where are you going? For what?
it's bass.
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 Like a peacock bass or like
No, just bass. Largemouth
Really?
bass.
anywhere?
That and smallie. Anywhere. I would probably fish Tennessee, Louisiana, Alabama.
Okay. I got you.
I mean, I've fished the North Sea. I have fished the Bay. I have fished the Atlantic. My heart is bass fishing. There's just something
Got
about
you.
bass that I just absolutely admire. I think
Them
they're a
little-
gorgeous fish. A lot of people tell me I'm crazy, but I think they're just an absolutely beautiful fish.
Oh, I agree. Like especially I've seen some really beautiful spotted bass, and then like on Lake Hartwell, there's some really good looking fish there. And then like you said, smallies for sure up there in Nick's realm.
Oh yeah.
Catching
One of
them
my-
big old smallies.
Yeah, one of my favorite trips is every year in May we try to get up to the Greenbrier in West Virginia and kayak it. And it takes us 12 hours, and we catch probably between 4 or 5 of us. We probably catch 150 smallies, kayaking down that river.
Are they good size too?
Some are.
Yeah.
Last year when we went, or it might have been the year before last, a buddy of ours, Pete Levert, he caught a 5-pound smallie And up there, I think it was a citation.
It's a nice Molly.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was.
yeah,
It was.
for sure. Man, I was hoping like you had something crazy like I want to go to the Amazon on a canoe for giant peacock
Nah,
bass.
I'm
I'm
good.
old. I'm simple. Now, I have fished, Europe, out in the north. I fished all over the place, and my favorite is largemouth bass.
Really?
Yeah,
I mean, I'm with you. I do love saltwater fishing, but I'm with you. I think, I mean, if I had a bucket list place, what would yours be, Nick?
And I'm pretty. I love upstate New York,
Yeah,
like Lake Champlain, the St. Lawrence. There's so many good fisheries. Cayuga, Oneida.
right.
And the thing, like Champlain is probably my favorite because you can go south down to Ticonderoga and it's muddy water. So you can find something that like people from the south could relate to. And then you go north and there's big
Right.
smallmouth and crystal clear water. There's weeds, there's rocks, there's everything up there. And the fish, it's just phenomenal.
Right. I think I'm going to Mexico. I'm going to El Salto.
Yeah.
That'd probably be my place. If we're talking largemouth, I'm going, or black bass species, I'm going to El Salto, Mexico. I mean, I know a couple trips there last year, they averaged like 100 fish a day, and their average was 5 pounds. Like, that's nuts.
Insane.
That's crazy. I'm down for that. But so Dave, what would be like your favorite style of fishing? Like down there where you're at, like any lake, whichever. If you're on the James or Lake Anna, wherever, what's like your favorite like go to? Like what kind of tournament sets up in your favor?
Okay.
And,
I like lake fishing more than I do river. But a lot of the guys in the league like river.
Gotcha.
So we split them up. When we fish river, we just need to make sure that we're catching the tide going out, because if it's coming in, it's going to be a tough day.
Right.
If it's going out when we launch, then it's going to be a good day.
Right.
Plus, with the river, you got a constant moving body of water. So, me, I love wacky. Hey,
Really?
hold on, I'm gonna pause you for a second.
Okay. I don't think I've ever heard anybody say they
All
love
right,
the
sorry about
wacky
that. I
rig
got
fish.
2 sentry dogs that are chasing each other around the house right now.
Oh, it's all good.
Yeah,
It's all good.
one weighs 9 pounds and one weighs 85 pounds. Yeah,
The 9
So-
pound dog's the boss, right?
the small one is the boss.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
she sure is. So, where was it? What was the question? Where was I at?
You love the wacky.
I love
Talking
the
about your
wacky.
favorite techniques, yeah.
I hated the wacky. I never fished a wacky till about 4 years ago, and a buddy of mine got me to try it, and we did really well in some tournaments. So now it's just I have a hard time putting it down. But I carry 24 poles on my rod and reels on my boat with everything that
Right.
you can imagine. During if I'm fishing lake during September, October, I'm gonna throw a lot of Alabama rig in the grass. If I'm fishing a lake and it's moving, I'm going to throw probably a Carolina rig with a heavier weight and a Texas rig with a heavier weight just to keep them down. Or if I'm going to fish a lot of shallow, then I'm going to throw a spinner bait.
Got you. Keeping it old school.
Keeping it old school.
Right. I got you. I like a good spinner bait too. I don't think I've ever heard anyone say, besides maybe John Cox, that their favorite technique is a wacky rig. I hate it. I'm sorry. I have a horrible bias against it. I know it is extremely effective. I've caught a lot of fish on it. But here's how I fish a wacky rig. I skip it under a tree, under a dock, whatever, and that worm goes one way, my hook goes the other. I said, well, that was enough for today. And I set it down. You had your chance, bud.
I ring the worms. So, and then I also put a nail weight in the head of it. Just a small nail weight.
You're Nico rigging it. I got you. I'm tracking.
I'm whacking it in the middle of the worm, but I'm if I'm in the river, it's getting a nail weight in it. Because if
Right.
not, I won't be able to keep it from
That's fair.
going to
They
the
make
back of the
those
boat.
those weighted wacky hooks too, which are pretty nice.
They do.
See, that's all I use because I'm too impatient to fish it weightless. I use a 1/32 ounce
Do you
weight.
use a 4-inch worm?
No, I throw I'm simple. A 5-inch Cinco, just standard Yamamoto Cinco, whatever color matches
I
the
throw
water.
a 4-inch June bug yum.
Really?
Slay them. Well,
Hmm.
I'm not gonna say I slay them, but we do well.
I
There
got
are
you.
days we
I
do
mean,
slay them.
I mean, judging by your tournament results this year, you doing all right with it. If that's your
That
deal, that's
picture
your
of that fish that I have on the cover on our website,
deal. Mm-hmm.
4-inch yum June bug wacky,
Really?
non-weighted.
Just straight up.
My biggest fish I've caught is 8 pounds on a wacky.
Really?
It's pretty nice.
It is.
Have you seen those new Senkos that came out? The Yamamoto, they're like the fat Senkos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
I
sink
think you
well.
were telling me about them the other day, Nick.
Yeah.
I think that was you. Yeah. I haven't got them yet. I'm gonna try them out. I mean, Cinco's rip. Maybe I should try Yum. I don't know. I haven't really given the Yums a fair shot. I'm getting called out for saying I like a spinnerbait. I do like the spinnerbait, Jared. You just haven't been in the boat with me when I use
You
it.
should always have them in the boat. Even like
Yeah.
I take 20. Literally, I'll take 20, 24 poles. I might use 6 of them
Yeah.
Yeah.
because I also fish quite a bit of jig.
Okay. Now we're talking. That's my deal. I like the
Mhm.
jig. I'm a jig guy.
A lot of people think they sell jig baits just because anglers want them and they are pretty or whatever, that they don't really catch fish. But
No, they're effective.
we do well with the jig.
Yeah. I think especially in rivers, lakes that have that crawfish population. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
if it's a forage, you've got to have a jig rigged. I think a lot of people give up on it too early because, in my experience with a jig, right, like one of my go-to, something I have on my deck all the time is a shaky head. Like I catch a lot of fish on a shaky head, and I've won derbs on it and stuff. But the jig, I just feel like has you don't get near as many bites, but when you do, you get that quality bite. And for me, at least around here in this area,
I
feel
replaced I went to a slider rig. So
Okay.
I went from Ned to slider, and on that slider I throw a 4-inch grape black finesse worm on a
interesting.
16th ounce or 8th ounce slider hook.
I've never seen that, but I'm looking at it here.
I'll show it to you in Tennessee.
Yeah,
You're
for
gonna see
sure.
everything in Tennessee that I got.
All right,
Come
we
on
can
over
stop
to the boat.
talking.
At
We
the
can
end of the
skip this
tournament.
segment.
No, you can see,
Exactly.
hey, you know what? Here's me. You need something and we're in a tournament, pull up beside my boat, I'll throw you a bag of it. So
Same here.
I'll tell you everything
Same.
I catch, where I catch it, I don't care. You know what?
Right.
You still got to catch them.
For sure.
Fish
For
everywhere.
For sure.
You know, you get
So
those
that-
guys. Hey man, where'd you catch that at today? In the water. Really? Really?
Right.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Jared's upset.
Slider is a secret. Slider is good.
I've never heard of that. I don't know how.
A buddy of mine fishes it with, I think, 8-pound or 6-pound test, and he's catching 4 or 5 pound bass with it. My co-angler, and I'm like, he'll be like, "Hey man, get the net. This is a really light line." And I'm like, "Well, what do you got on there? Oh, 6 pounds." You keep him on there.
It's like drop shotting up here for smallmouth. You use like 6-8 pound tests. I've heard of people going down to 4 on it. That's just
I heard
I fish
too much
everything.
risk.
I might throw a 10-pound with the slider, with the 16th ounce slider. I throw 12-pound everything else. I'll tell you what else is good. One of our sponsors, our bait guys, Tactical.
Yeah.
I got a lizard from them. I don't know what. It's a greenish lizard. I'd have to go out in the garage and look at the name of it. We threw that thing on a Carolina rig. Had about a 24-inch lead from the weight or the stopper to the hook. And we had a little bit of wind. So I threw that bad boy out the boat. And you're trying to, in a moving river, trying to keep your boat still with the trolling motor. You know, you got a big fiberglass boat with a 80-pound thrust trolling motor. And that boat just, you're not going to keep it going forward.
Right.
And it would be pushing us back a little bit. And we hit a spot that when that lizard come through there, I don't know if we hit a school of them or what. And we just slayed about 3 or 4 3-pounders out of there. And that was the first time I ever used that bait. I'll look it up and I'll send you a text on which one it was.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, I guess if you
I got
do
any
that,
left.
that automatically finds its way in the daily arsenal if you do something like that. By default now, that's a go-to, right? Man, so what would you say? So we talked about techniques and stuff a bunch and lake style stuff, but what would you say, like your time of year? I know you don't like the cold. You're not a cold fisherman or
I will be next year.
Right. But like, are you looking for like favorite derb and experience, like in the past, or what you look forward to one day? Like, are you looking for sight fish? Are you, looking for a true post spawn, true pre spawn, in the spawn, sight fishing or not? Like, what are you looking for? You like them hot summer derbs, first thing in the morning, top water, shad spawn stuff, or like, what are you looking for?
In Virginia, my favorite time of fishing is March, April, May, September, October. October, it's like, I don't know what gets into them, like up at Lake Anna. You can literally throw spinnerbait, Alabama rig, and just fish after fish after fish. You'll catch plenty of bass. You just have to be able to call that. You always get that 2.5 pounder you can't get rid of. It happens every term. I just can't get rid of that 2.5 pounder. So, but you'll catch them back to back to back. We have had bags of 30 pounds out of the Chickahominy in March and April. When we had our first tournament it was like 14 to 30 mile an hour gust winds, raining. I believe it was Mr. Shaw, Curtis Shaw, pulled in an 18-pound something bag in that weather. And that was March 23rd, I believe. So, yeah, my favorite times, it depends on the lake. Chickahominy Lake, my favorite time is May. For the rivers, March, April. Lake Anna, Chesden, September, May, September, October.
Gotcha.
And I love the morning fish.
Yeah, top waters.
Top
I love
water. Popar.
I love it. Yeah. Oh, you're a popar guy.
Popar.
I smoked some stripers this morning on a popar first thing. It was a blast. I mean,
now I will say striper fishing is fabulous as well.
Yeah, it when you get around them schooling, I don't know how they are up there where you're at, but here in all the lakes around South Carolina, I mean, there'll be 100 of them in a school, and popars, top waters, whatever. I mean, if it looks like a bait fish, if they're feeding, you can throw it in there. I mean, you throw a block in there with a hook on it that's white, and you're going to catch them. It's so much fun.
Well, I'll tell you this: I am so bad at saltwater fishing that I gave my boat away. I had a 29-foot Donzi cabin cruiser, and I couldn't. Everybody around me catching fish on my boat, and I can't catch anything but a croaker. So I'm like, I'm done.
I hear you.
And I'm not that much better in bass fishing either, but I truly enjoy it better.
Yeah. I mean, you're doing pretty good right now. I mean, in points this year, you did great.
Yeah, if I would have placed in the top 5 in the last tournament, I think I would have had team of the year.
Right, that's not doing bad. I mean,
3 fish on the last tournament.
It'd be like that. I caught. I mean, shoot, I don't even want to talk about the South Carolina season. Me and Bobby had a tough season. I mean, we ended good, but
I was gonna say you pulled through at the end.
Yeah, but the rest of them were not good. I mean, it was rough. It
I'll
was
tell you
rough.
though, I think I thoroughly enjoy tournament fishing.
Right.
The only time I do any recreational bass fishing is when I go out and get in my boat here where I live and fish a small lake just to
Gotcha.
relax because nobody's ever on it. Or a buddy of mine calls me up and says, "Hey, let's go try out the boat." And I just put power poles on it this weekend, so it's going out Friday.
Right.
So it's going out Friday and make sure it worked. When we first hooked them up, they were backwards. You hit the down button, they go up.
Oh no.
They look good now.
Goodness. Dang. I guess it's, just swapping wires, but seems like it would be hard to wire them backwards.
It was literally a 2-hour install for 2 power poles.
Hmm.
I mean, the power pole install, mounting them was 15, 20 minutes.
Right.
The rest was, drilling through the back of the boat and
Installing the
installing the
pumps
hydraulic pumps.
Right.
Literally,
Did you
I don't
do
think
that,
it took 2 hours.
Did you do the 2 pumps or that new 1 pump system that they have?
No, I've got 2 pumps.
You do, yeah.
But they both read off the same remote control, so that's good.
Yeah.
So I have 4 remote controls, and I like to drop things in the water, so good to go.
I've noticed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, you're on your third phone, so
Third phone in 3 weeks.
So when you lost your phone last weekend, you told me that you had the floating case. Do you have that on your new phone yet?
When I go in the water, I will.
Got you.
So the case, I bought one of those floating cases and left it on the table when I left that morning.
Right.
That phone wasn't, I don't think it was 2 weeks old.
Right. Oh, Nathan Tyson. Yeah, man. So hopefully, I don't know if you're saying you already got one or you're still looking for one, but yeah, he fished our open on Saturday, last Saturday, and destroyed his trolling motor up in the swamp. It'll do that to you. I blew up my Ultrex in the swamp one time. I had to take it apart and fix it. I was lucky; it was just the magnets that controlled the drive. I don't know if anybody on here has ever taken one of those apart. It's mind blowing. It's all magnets, the whole thing. I had no idea. It's crazy, the whole brushless deal. But yeah, Santee, it'll do it to you. I'm sure it's like that up there in the James River, right? Especially
Depends on where you go.
Yeah, the Chick's all cypress knees, stuff like that, right?
Now the Chick
Kinda
is
swampy.
gorgeous. It is. It's all cypress. It's just
Right.
It's the Chick River is pretty deep. Now the Chick Lake, it's not that deep. It's I mean, in some places it's 25 feet deep, but when you get up into the creeks, you're 3 to 5 feet deep.
Right.
Some of them you're 2.5 feet deep.
Right.
But when the grass is in there,
What's your favorite lake in Virginia to fish? If you had to pick one.
Chesden.
What is it?
Lake Chesden.
Where is that? Is that like central, eastern, western?
It's you know where Richmond, Virginia is?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's just west, I believe. Northwest. It's in I believe Henrico County.
Is
it's
it
about
small?
an hour and a half from me.
Is it like clear water? Is it
It's fairly, I mean, not a whole lot of Virginia water is clear for sight fishing. Depending on where you go. But it's the first time I fished it this year, and I absolutely fell in love with it. So we're definitely going to have 2 tournaments there next year. It is just it's just a great lake. The bad part about it are there are no boat docks. So when you put in, you beat your boat.
Oh, no
That's
fishing boat docks.
It's the only downfall. My
Yeah, I
second
wouldn't-
favorite lake in Virginia is Lake Anna.
Have
And then,
you?
of course, we have Smith Mountain Lake.
That's what I was about to
I
ask.
don't know why. I want to.
I do. I want to fish Smith. Yeah, I want to fish
You
that
need
one
to.
really bad.
Now that's a clear water lake. So
Big
I mean,
smallmouths, I heard.
They are if you can catch them, but you're going to catch some monster largemouth in there, and it's so big. I mean, I think it's the second biggest in Virginia, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that. Somebody could fact check me on that, That's where I fish all the Bass Pro Shop tournaments. We go up there. They work twice a year, and we go up there 3 days, 4 days, and stay and fish, and it's hourly weigh-in. So, we can go up there and had a great time. But I rarely ever collected a check. So, because we always stayed 25, 30 minutes by water to weigh in. So if I don't have 5-pound bass, I'm not going down there to weigh it in, because never fails. Every time we go up there, at least 2 days, it's raining. Running across Smith Mountain Lake, as big as it is, in a bass boat, the waves are like being in the bay, and it's pouring down rain. It's miserable.
Yeah, it looks pretty big out there. Like you got,
it's
it
huge.
looks like there's places to hide, but
beautiful lake, beautiful.
Yeah.
And you have everything there. You can go muddy, clear. You have your choice. Depends on where you want to go. You have black water where a lot of the people go, a lot of the anglers go. I like to tend to stay a little more up lake towards Roanoke. And then, of course, fishing down by the dam.
Got you.
But it's 100 feet at the dam in most places.
Wow.
That lake's quite deep. It's over 100 feet in quite a few places.
Y'all can have that. 15 feet's deep to me. I'm good.
I don't think my power poles are going to do much good in Smith Mountain Lake here.
Yeah, my talon goes down to 10 feet, and that's as deep as I go. And my talon can't touch, neither can I, so ain't no sense in it.
That's exactly right.
So if you had to pick one style, like one way to fish, would you pick like shallow, dirty water, deep, clear water? What would you pick?
5 to 6 feet dirty.
Yeah.
Whoa, that was very specific.
Yeah.
5 to 6 feet dirty.
So you're talking are we talking chocolate milk dirty or stained?
Stained.
Got you.
But I will say there's places at Smith Mountain Lake when you go all the way up that it's chocolate milk dirty. And
really?
The bass love it.
Really?
They do.
I have no confidence in chocolate milk. Like I like stained water. I love stained water, but chocolate milk is not my deal. And when it gets
stained is my best. It's my favorite.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I like that. You can throw a crankbait.
You know why I like
bait.
5 to 6 feet, right?
DT6.
No, I do throw an old school 6 though. A DT6, I do throw one. No, it's because I fish wacky.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And plus, we like to fish where, you'll throw up into 2 feet of water and let that wacky fall and come down, and it hits that 5 to 6 feet of water. Then you hit that next ledge that goes down about 12 feet. That's where you're going to get them.
With a weightless wacky.
Mm-hmm.
You're throwing it in 12 feet of water.
Oh, yeah. Patience, Austin.
I don't have that. I don't have
patience.
I'm putting a 1/4 ounce weight on that joker if I'm fishing 12 feet.
That's where you bring one of your portable coffee things on the boat and you throw it in and you hold your pole while you're pouring a cup of coffee and then you're like, okay, let's start working it.
I could sit down and eat my lunch by the time that wacky rig gets to the bottom.
Depends on which worm you're throwing. The new one that Nick was talking about, I think it sinks quite rapidly.
That's fair. That's fair. And the Yamamotos are definitely heavier with all the salt content they put in them. Yeah, they. I think that's kind of why I've always used the Yamamoto just for that reason. They're heavy. They're OGs. I'm always partial to OG stuff, and they're heavy. And we just determined I don't have patience when it comes to baits like that. So I don't know. For some reason, I will fish a shaky head on one cast for like 5 minutes straight and just barely drag it along, but I can't throw a wacky rig. I don't know why. Maybe because I can feel the rocks on the shaky head. I don't know.
I throw a fluke on a shaky head.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, interesting.
Silver and white.
I never heard that method. Easy now. You're getting specific. That's a Murray thing. Yeah, Caitlin's right.
I definitely do. Patience. Yeah, I absolutely do.
Well, I think we covered a lot of you. We hit your tournament experience pretty good too. It looks like you've you've been around the block for sure. What's
the biggest tournament you've ever fished?
100 and, question. 2 200. I think it was 200 and some boats.
Is that one of the Bass Pro Shop deals?
No, that was the Major League Fishing BLF. Up at
BFLs,
Smith Mountain Lake.
The BFL, yeah.
Yeah.
That's when I had
Yep.
my 5-day vacation afterwards.
You fishing those as a co or?
No, I don't fish co.
Oh, you're a boater.
I'm a
got you.
terrible co angler.
Yeah.
I'm a
You know-
great boater because I look at my co angler and say, "Where do you want to fish?" He's
Right.
like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah. Where do you want to fish? You know the lake? Yep. Where do you want to go?"
Right. I know some people that are co's around here at least, and they're not enjoying the co deal anymore on the BFLs just because they're getting backboated and live scoped, and guys are sitting out over 70 feet of water, and there's nothing there. Like, how do you fish that way as a co angler? You're just,
You want to talk about live scope?
yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
have.
missed a question here for you. Sorry to jump in there.
Sure.
Oh, yeah. My son's going to check the high school national at the end. Oh, what month, Ronnie Mueller?
Is it the end of this month?
Or are you talking like at the end of October, September?
Is he
around
going
the
Chick Lake
national?
or Chick River?
I don't know. Whichever one you
Oh,
were
he-
talking about, I'm assuming.
I'm thinking in my head, I went to Chickamauga.
Oh,
He's
no.
probably
'cause
talking
Dave
about
mentioned-
Chickahominy.
Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
so if I'm guessing if it's the high school national championship, it's on the river, and they'll probably put in somewhere around the Route 5 bridge, which is right there at the James as well. The last time I fished, it was July last year in the tournament. No, I take that back. I fished in September, October. I fished 2 of them since then. But last July, I did fish a tournament. It was 100 and it was over 100 boats, and me and my buddy came in 4th. We caught all of our fish. You want me to tell you where?
Ooh.
We call them all up in the
Information?
Dyson Creek.
Oh, gosh.
and then-
Waypoints.
Hey, then if you come out of it's a state park down there. I think it's Newport News might own this park, or Williamsburg, but it's right there at the Route 5 bridge. That's where most of the tournaments are put in. As soon as you come off the boat ramp, take a right and go back in that creek. Just keep going back till you go past a couple duck blinds. As soon as you go to make that turn, that point right there, you'll pick up a few good ones.
What'd you have for weight?
I didn't. Oh, you mean weight? Oh,
Yeah.
14 something.
And that got you 4th place, you said?
Got us 4th place. Yeah,
I mean, July
90-something
and on
degrees.
Tidal
Yeah.
River. Yeah, that sounds,
Our biggest
14
fish-
sounds about right.
Don't hold me to this, but I think our biggest fish might have been a little over 5.
What was the
And
average?
then
you
the
had?
rest of them were all
complaining.
2.5.
2.5, yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I could remember the creek, but as soon as it's right by the Route 5 bridge. And as soon as you put in off the ramp, instead of going left out into the Chick Lake or into the James, you go right straight up into the creek. It's no wake for about a half mile, quarter mile. And then after that, it's just windy. You've got anything from 1.5 feet to 12 feet probably back there.
Gotcha.
That's my
Gotcha.
2 favorite places to fish, that and Dyson Creek.
I need to get up there. That's one of my bucket list places is
Come on.
Chickahominy. I've heard so many good things about the whole James River. I want to get up there. And I've heard some really awesome things about the Appomattox too. I really want to get up there. And then, I don't know. I didn't get to watch any of the MLF. I heard they crushed them pretty good up there.
Yeah, they do. But a lot of
Yeah.
them,
Yeah.
like they'll put in for like last weekend, our tournament, a lot of them, the elimination tournament, a lot of them put in the James and run to the Chick.
Right. Right.
The Chick is a tough river to fish. It's nice to fish the main lake. The only problem is fishing it in July. You have a lot of recreational. So it's kind of tough fishing the main lake. So it's best to get off the main lake into a creek because, you're still going to catch quality bass up in the creeks.
Right.
And I do have live, whatever it is, target.
Oh, you're not hoping, you're scoping.
I don't use it.
Oh,
You don't use it?
I am too old school. My co-anger's like, dude, you're going to use that thing? I'm like, look, I look down there, there's fish. Let's just fish. Catch 'em.
Right.
I'm not going out in 25, 30 feet of water and sit there and anchor down and try to catch fish with a spoon or something. You know what I mean? Or
Oh, you ain't gonna go shake the minute at them?
no, I'm not doing it. I'll lose every tournament because I'm not going to do that to my co-angler.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's I don't know. I'm horrible at it. I don't catch them very good on it. I caught a catfish on it today, and that's pretty much the story of my live scope existence is catfish and
I caught a
stripers.
catfish last week on an Alabama rig.
Yeah, and
Go figure.
yeah,
Caught a 15-pound turtle too.
goodness, it's a monster.
Yeah, up in the James River.
What did it eat?
It ain't my
What were you?
wacky.
A turtle. Goodness.
Catfish ate
spinning
my
rod.
my Alabama rig, and the turtle ate my wacky.
Goodness.
Yeah.
I've only stuck one turtle on accident. That was with a jig. And I think I just brought it over him and stuck him. But man, I bet that was fun on a spinning rod. A rolling turtle.
Rolling turtle.
Well, heck, I mean, we've covered a lot about you. I think we ought to, move on into the Virginia Brigade, and let's talk a
Sure.
little bit about that. But real quick before we do that, I know we got people coming and going into the live stream. So for the folks that are just coming in, or joined after we talked about the giveaway and the Q&A instructions, we're doing a Q&A session for Dave and the AFFL in general after we talk about the Virginia Brigade. So if you have questions, shoot them. We'll star it and save it on our end and come back to them once we're done talking about the Virginia Brigade. Goodness, I jumbled that up pretty good. And then for the giveaway, just like it says at the bottom on the little banner scrolling, like, share, comment, and we're giving away a hat, a neck gator, and a couple of barbecue sauces. So
Make sure the hashtag is just like you see it on the screen.
On the screen.
Capital
That's
letters, lowercase letters, everything.
Yep. It's got to match. I don't think it matters if you have the capitals or not, but it's the letters, if I'm not mistaken.
So does it have to be in the comments or chat?
It has to be in the comments.
So if I go into the comments and it wants to put me into YouTube, am I going to disconnect?
Probably.
All right, so I'll just stay where I'm at.
Yeah. I don't know. We'd have to test that on a test stream. But yeah, so let's talk about the Virginia.
Let's talk about Virginia.
Yeah. So last year we kind of dove into it a little bit last week, just briefly about your growth. Last year you had what you said 2 or 3 teams consistently.
We had 3 faithful teams. It was myself, my co-angler Sandra, Justin Basil, Phil Henshaw, and Rob Uzzle consistently every tournament. And there were only 3 of us.
And everybody else on there was kind of, back and forth, or just everybody was like a one-timer and done kind of deal.
So last year we had members that never fished. They just never showed up to fish. So I think last year the problem is, we compete with CAT. We compete with the Virginia Federation, Bass Federation. And I mean, so many clubs that I have to actually wait until October when all those clubs have their tournament list out so I can go through the weekends that they're not, because a lot of our teams also fish ABA, BLF, CAT. So, and they actually have their home clubs, their local clubs that they fish. So it's tough to get those tournaments in and get, this year we had our last tournament, surprisingly, we had 10 teams. We only have 11 this year.
Right. Oh, so you packed house with your average members this year.
Right. Not only that, it's so good to see the fact that we went from 3 teams a tournament last year to 10 or 11 this year.
Right.
Yeah. That's huge.
It was really nice. We tripled really. In 1 year.
Yeah. Very similar story here in South Carolina. And I'm really thankful for it. I mean, it was like me and Bobby we're like the only teams that showed up to every event.
Mhm.
And we had a few teams, you know, that found out late and stuff that still came. But this year we've had, you know, same numbers, you know, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 boats roughly are the numbers for each event we had. So similar deal about tripling in growth. And I'm thankful for it. I mean, I really am. And I have a feeling, I don't have a feeling, I know we're going to just continue to grow. And next year, probably, you know, double or triple again. I hope, you know, that's the goal. I feel like it will. I mean, I think we're doing something good here and it'll continue to grow. But man, you know, what do you think it is? So that growth, what do you think it is for you that grew for you there? Like, what do you think contributed to that? You
I
think
just
it's
think
like,
everything Nick's doing. I mean,
yeah,
you know, he's advertising. I advertise on Facebook. You know, we're starting to get a lot more followers on our Virginia page, and just word of mouth. So everybody I hang out with are veterans or first responders.
right,
So word of mouth. And the electric club that I belong to, they have 98 members or 100. They have 100 some, but they usually have 45 to 50 teams a tournament. So, and they're all, I mean, we're surrounded by military in this
right,
area, Hampton Roads area, so forth. You have Langley, you have largest Navy installation. I mean, we're just, you know, a huge population of veterans and active duty. And of course, every city and town has first responders. So the
right,
word's starting to get out. And then, you know, I really thank Rob Uzzle, Phil Henshaw, and Justin Basil for the advertising they do, because like Rob Uzzle, he has his own fishing page. So this year, you know, he started mentioning us. And then we have Kurt, I believe it's Curtis Shaw. He has his own fishing channel and he shares all of our stuff on his fishing channel. And when he does a live screen or whatever he does, when he's live, he talks about us and promotes us. So that's starting to help. And I
right.
just think the word's getting out. And, you know, we have an open coming up September the 14th at Lake Anna. It was regularly scheduled for Anna Point Marina, but it's been sold. And the gentleman that takes care of us there every year went across the street to a different marina. So it's up in the air on where it's going to be. Right now, I still have it scheduled for Anna Point. However, it's going to be an open. Can I talk about that open?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
for sure.
Okay,
100%.
so it's September the 14th. Great time for bass fishing at Lake Anna. I mean, a wonderful time. We're going to have some grass, and we've decided. So I got all the teams together last week at the tournament, and I've come to the conclusion we're going to have a $100 entry fee. We'll do a $20 big fish, a $10 side pot, 100% payout. So I don't have the payout chart in front of me, and I'll never remember it. I should, because we've had 10 teams all this time, so it's 585 and 315. That's what it is for two teams. So,
Gotcha.
so we're getting ready to go up and meet with the folks at Anna Point Marina to make sure everything's good, and then I'll reach out to Dave, the gentleman that takes care of us. When he was there, he's now over at Sturgeon or Sturgis Creek, I believe it is, Marina. And whichever one, Dave promotes us a lot when he does like the Virginia Fishing Expo. He had a booth and he promoted us. We have a gentleman that, you know, I do a lot of business with, you know, with fishing stuff and everything. It's local. He promotes us in Richmond. So we get promoted by all those guys. And we're going to, I'm going to hit you up for some flyers, and I am going to heavily advertise for the next 2 months on this tournament. The last tournament we had for veterans anything at Lake Anna, there was 143 boats.
Wow. That's incredible.
I came in 18th, by the way.
Nice.
You know how much weight I had?
1789. Dang
14 pounds and 4 ounces, something like that.
I was way off.
I can't get over that 14 pounds.
Yeah. I hear you. Mine's 20. I can't get over 20. I've done 20 a few times in derbs. I can't bust 20. Like I can't hit 21. I've had 28.2, 27.7. I can't bust over 20.
I just want to bag the third of my age, which would be 20.3 pounds. So.
There you go. I got you. It's probably a little easier for us down here to hit a 20-pound bag than it is for
I wasn't going to say that.
But
There's some big fish in Virginia, though, and a
Oh,
lot
I'm
of
sure.
places to fish.
I'm sure. I'm sure. So are you considering any more opens post that open, if that makes sense? So like after the national, like some like late fall. I know you don't like the cold.
Yeah, I'm
but
waiting to see. So there's a group that does a veterans tournament every November on Lake Anna, and I don't want to interfere with them because they've been doing it for, oh my gosh, I don't even know how long. And this year they're
Right.
limiting to 100 boats. So
Gotcha.
I'm hoping that the other 40 or 50 that didn't get in will want to come the following week and fish with us. So I'm
Right.
thinking about having one in November. I'm going to fish. I'll probably fish through December.
Yeah. Have some opens, some like
Yeah,
late.
it just depends on, because we've had a really warm summer. So I'm guessing our fall into November is going to be fishing weather.
Might knock on some wood.
And
We
I'm
got
open.
plenty of it.
I'll set up a open anytime because, November, it's pretty open these days because everybody's finished up their nationals and their team championships.
For
I'll
sure.
send you pictures of me sitting in front of my wood stove while you guys are out fishing.
Yeah, y'all got 10 feet of snow by then already.
Yeah, so I'll probably have. I'm definitely open to more opens. I mean,
That's kind of my thought. So like my process, what I was going to do here is like, I've got them through the summer, beat the heat style, get off the water at noon or 1. I have them scheduled till 1, but I'm telling everybody at the beginning of them, we can move it up if it's going to be 100 degrees and nobody wants to stay out that late. We can adjust the weigh-in time based on what the anglers want, right? So I'm running those basically until the second week of August. August 10th is my last summer open. And then I'm going to do some fall stuff after the national, our national, the AFFL national. I'm going to do a couple fall into the winter deals because my thought process is, if you get a couple of folks that come out, see how it's ran, you know what I mean, show it right before your qualifier season, maybe that will drive them into that season potentially. That's kind of my thought, give them a taste before they commit is kind of what I'm saying. Before they spend the membership, dedicate dedicate to the season, all that. I think maybe it will help. So far, I mean, we had 10 boats in our first open. I was pretty happy with that. Being June, the end of June in South Carolina, I was pretty happy. So
well, this is
we'll
my
see how
last
this
year
weekend
fishing
comes.
any other tournaments or any other leagues. I'm going to commit 100% to AFFL next year. I'm not fishing any other leagues.
That's how I'm doing as well.
Yeah, me
it's
and
too
Austin
much.
were talking about that.
Yeah.
It's too much.
Well, for one, it's
Yeah.
expensive.
Yeah, that's a factor too. Yeah.
But two, I just want to focus more on AFFL.
Right. I'm with you. It takes a lot, man. That's why we want you on here to talk to you. Is like, I mean, you were real humble about it, Oh, well, it's all what Nick did. It's what you're doing too, man. You're putting in the work.
Yeah.
You're doing the work. We both, me and Nick both know, like, there's a lot of this that people don't see. There's a lot of behind the scenes that we do, that you're doing to, grow this organization in your state. And it's showing. I mean, the way you have, tripled in numbers, that doesn't come easy. You're working for it and it's paying off.
Well, we have some really good guys, and
for sure.
I hate to admit this, but when we fished Lake Chesden, I got about 5 miles from the lake and realized I forgot the weight scales. Hour and a half away from the house.
My goodness.
So my co-angler Sandra said, "Don't worry about it. I'll go back and get them, and then when I get back, you just pick me up." So how lucky was I?
Yeah,
How
that's
great was
lucky.
that?
Yeah,
Right.
that's nice.
So, we have a league, and then, we just have a really good bunch of guys in our league. We really do. So I'm hoping that I'd love to see 20, 25 boats, a tournament. That would, at that point, I don't know if I'll actually fish the tournaments,
Right. It'll be
or just
busy.
run them. Once it gets
Right.
up to a big amount of boats, and if I do fish them, it's going to be, I'll be launching an hour after launch and, coming in an hour earlier.
Right.
But yeah, it's a lot of work. It's not a lot of work. It's because I create a lot of work for myself, trying to do things that are kind of cool, like boards and stuff like
Right.
that. But like you show up with this tent, and I'm like, oh, I gotta get a hold of Nick, man. We can't let him outdo us in South Carolina.
Yeah. Well, that was the thing, that's why I did it the way I did it through, I don't know if John Lanier is watching, but his wife Jordan gave us the hookup on those tents for, an unbeatable price. It's insane.
And what's great
And
is they're just great quality.
it
Oh,
it
yeah.
blew my mind. This is the backdrop here, and the camera
Mhm.
quality probably isn't the best, but when I first
Oh, it looks
unwrapped
great.
it, I couldn't believe how well it was printed, how well it captured the colors, and it's not pixelated or anything weird. It looks as professional.
It's heavy
as it
duty
gets.
too.
Yeah, it's
It
stout.
really
The
is.
legs on the
Yeah.
tin
It's
are
heavy.
stout. Yeah, it's
It is heavy.
yeah, for what we paid, I won't advertise that, but you can't beat it. It's great.
They are fantastic. And so there's a couple places we fish that I can put them up in the morning, and
Mhm.
they're there. They see them all day long, and I don't have to worry about somebody, deciding to put in their backyard barbecue. So
That's cool. Yeah, that's
yeah.
cool.
So like when we were our last tournament, we put it up in the morning at 4:30. It was up all day, so we got advertisement all day long, and that place is busy. That is one busy. It's Hopewell City Marina, so it's a
Right.
very busy location. So God knows how many people actually got to see, all of our sponsors, the canopy, everything that day. So,
For
and
sure.
had a couple of gentlemen come up to me and say, "Hey, can we fish this tournament today?" I'm like, "If you want to get online this morning, I'll get you hooked up as a membership." I said, "It's our last tournament." They said, "Well, how can we
Right.
get in for next year?" So
Money.
I'm getting business cards made.
There
Yeah.
you go. Yep,
Yep.
it helps, man. I keep them in
Oh
my
yeah.
truck, keep them in my pocket. It helps a lot.
I'm gonna
Just
go
be
to all
like,
my
hey,
buddies that have bait shops, put up
drop them.
signs and stuff.
Flyers and business
Yep.
cards. Yep. We're growing pretty good, I think, and I think the tent's a big thing. One of my big things for the tent, what drove me over the hump, because I was like designing it and stuff, and I was like, oh well, maybe it's not worth it. I don't know. Like I was battling with myself on it, and I think it gives us all an option to be able to, not only are we having them at the Derbs, but if you have an event that's near you that you can set up at and recruit that way, like I did the Lake Murray when the Elite Series was here. I had out on Lake Murray, I set up in the weigh-in and hung out there all day with Lake Murray Country and a couple of other companies sitting around. And man, I had so many people come up and want to talk. I had so many more veterans that were invested in fishing than I thought I would.
I'll turn my head around backwards. I'm getting a shadow.
Oh, I got you. So maybe that's something we can look into, and I'm willing to come up there and meet you up there. If you got a show come up, you just let me know.
All right.
I like interacting with people like that. It's really enjoyable for me. But I think it helps too. I think that is definitely. I think we're doing great on the social media spectrum, especially now that we have this. I think we're getting the information out there, but I'm learning more and more that there's a lot of folks that are our audience that we're trying to pull in that aren't on social media, or they might have an account but they don't follow it in depth.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know how to find these fishing pages and groups, and you know what I mean, like they're not seeing the ads. So we gotta I think we'll continue to grow the way we're going, but I think to get us over into that 30, 40, 50 boat range in certain states is going to be boots on the ground in contact.
I'll tell you, Austin, what you're doing right here is probably going to be a big boost.
I hope so. I mean, it's been a lot of work we've put into this so far. And, you know, it's not perfect. I say every other word. And, you know, we're working on it, but I think it's definitely, I hope it's going to help. I hope it's going to help.
Yeah, but
And
you know what? We're normal guys having normal conversations on here.
exactly. It's easy.
That's what
you
we
know,
like. That's what I like.
Same. I'm with you there. I'm with you there.
You want a big word from me?
Yeah.
Not coming. So.
Right. Well, I mean, we covered your SITREP pretty good on Virginia. I mean, I love that it's growing. I think, you know, Nick, up there in New Hampshire, y'all are growing about the same rate too, right? So pretty.
Yeah, I mean, you have to think too up here. It's not
You don't
our
have the
season's so
pool.
short. So like
Right.
a big tournament in the state of New Hampshire is between like 50 and 75 boats. Like that's big,
Right.
you know. So yeah, it's not. It'll be tough to, and we don't have a huge. I mean, we have Pease Air Force Base and we have the Portsmouth Naval Shipyard. Other than that, we don't have a whole lot other than like National Guard and Reserve armories and stuff, but
Right.
not a whole lot of active duty up here. I don't think too many people retire, you know, that lived in the South before come up to New Hampshire retire, but
right.
They're all in Florida and Virginia, South Carolina.
What's that?
They all retired and went to Florida, South Carolina, and Georgia, and Virginia.
For sure. They travel south to get away from that cold. And as a lizard person myself, I don't blame them. I can't stand the cold. I don't know how y'all do it up there. 70 degrees is cold.
We're going to be having a chapter in Kentucky eventually, correct?
Yeah. I hope so. That's my home state. I hope we can get something moving there. For sure.
So I had a
I'm going to be sporting this right here. Well, I'll be sporting my Armed Forces Fishing League in a tournament up there at the end of October.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Where are you going? Kentucky Lake? Or?
I have no idea the name of the lake. So basically what it is, it's the Chief of Police Association.
Okay.
Is having a state tournament for first responders. And so I have a gentleman that works on my team that's a retired chief in Kentucky. So he called me up and said, "You want to come up here and fish this tournament?" He has no idea. I don't believe he bass fishes, but he'll figure it out. I'll give him a rod with a wacky on it.
Interesting. We're gonna have to link up on that. My father-in-law is retired law enforcement out there, so I might see it, and he bass fishes, so I might have to see if he's gonna jump in that. That's cool. He might have a link there.
So I have one question for everybody listening right now. To our members, where would you like to see the 2025 national event? If you had to pick one lake in the country, if you guys could just drop that in the comments, we'll see what people come up with.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the way we're moving next year to the qualifier stuff, Gunnersville, Zach. Man, I'm with you. So Gunnersville is a fun place. I'm just gonna click them as they come up. So Gunnersville, Zach, Champlain, and then
anybody put Smith Mountain Lake up there?
Not yet. So Lonnie was saying, I think the law enforcement derby is usually at Del Hollow. That makes sense because they have like a Kentucky State Trooper, Tennessee State Trooper island in the middle, right there on the state line. So that would make sense. Thanks, Lonnie. I might have to engage on that a little further and see if we can maybe do something with that. Champlain. That's 2 on Champlain.
That's 3 on Champlain.
Where's that at?
3. They're flowing. The Champlains are flowing. Hold on.
It's all the northern guys.
I'm gonna go with, all right, don't take this in a negative manner. But I'm gonna go with based off the names. Yeah, those are all New Hampshire guys.
So that's your lake.
Yeah, Champlain. Santee. I don't know what's wrong with Mr. Fulmer. Mr. Fulmer, I appreciate all the hard work you've done recruiting for the South Carolina. But I don't know if you and I have fished the same Santee in the past few years.
Oh, Smith Mountain.
Yeah, there's a Smith Mountain.
Oh, that's Danny. He's one of our guys.
Yeah. We got Cumberland.
I want I want to fish there so bad.
Smith Mountain or
Come on down.
Cumberland.
oh, Cumberland. Yeah, Cumberland's a beautiful lake. I grew up going down there. Lake Hartwell, they're used to hosting big events. So here's my thing with Hartwell. I'm with it. Green Pond and the people there are fantastic. It's just, I mean, it's so tough. There's so many tournaments out there right now. I mean, when we had the ABA out there this year, it was brutal. Like, fish would follow. I mean, the amount of people I talked to, it happened to me, but I heard a lot of other folks saying it. I mean, 3 to 4 pound spots just chasing bait straight to the boat and then leaving it. Like consistently across the whole lake. Maybe they were just in a negative mood. I don't know, but there's so many big giant derbs up there. I feel like it's hard to get that out or to somehow deal with that pressure. Somewhere centrally located, aka not Champlain.
Where's he? Who's he fish with?
He's a South Carolina guy. Come on, Nathan. We can go out there and try to learn how to catch smallmouths together. I mean, I know how to catch them in a creek in Kentucky with an ultralight, but it's not the same thing. I know I would struggle up there. St. Lawrence, Champlain, Chesapeake Bay, American Falls Reservoir, Spirit Lake in Idaho, and or Snake River. Mar, I love the suggestion. However, with our states, I don't think we can convince anybody to make that trip yet. Maybe in the future when we start moving out to a lot of states. Our Virginia director or Georgia director here weighing in Okeechobee. I like that idea. I really do like that idea. That's one of my bucket list places as well. Have it on Murray and advertise it. Your numbers would jump. I mean, we have tournaments on Murray.
Murray's tough too.
Yeah, Murray's starting to get that same way as Hartwell. It just, I don't know. There's so much pressure. I mean, especially after the Elite Series. Mr. Mueller, I don't know if you were up there the weekend after the Elite Series. There was literally 1 to 5 boats per herring point. I mean, it was insane. You went down the main lake, and there's boats just rub rail to rub rail, just sitting there, power pulled down, doing what the Elite Series guys were doing.
I couldn't do it.
But, yeah, it was a little frustrating because I was in a derb, and it is what it is. But it was pretty crazy. Oh, he said he was. Yeah, it was pretty nuts. The area is me and Lonnie. I think he's in here watching. We fished some stuff that Patrick Walters was fishing, and we watched a boat sit there power poled for Lonnie way in here. I don't know how long it was. It was over an hour. Dude never moved his boat and never caught a single fish. We watched them the whole time. They would come up schooling, and they just, it was crazy. Yeah, Mr. Fulmer, Murray gets beat. Josh Morgan with the Harris chain. Oh, I clicked the wrong one. When they jump, I miss. I wouldn't mind a Florida derb. What do y'all think?
Florida's good for me.
I've never really fished Florida too much bass fishing. I've done a lot of saltwater stuff, but
good thing about Virginia, we're central to all these areas. So it's going to be 8 to 10 hour drive any direction for me. So
yeah, it's
I don't have to drive down
Florida's
from New Hampshire or anything.
It's only 24 hours straight through.
Oh, that's all right. We got to consider, yeah. Everybody's talking about going up north, but we got to think about the northern guys coming down. I think Kentucky's a good area. And like the Kentucky, Tennessee region, the TVA lakes is a good area for the states we have now, just because it's kind of that centrally located for everybody. And all those lakes around there offer something that you guys up north have an advantage on. South Carolina guys, Louisiana guys, Virginia guys, they can figure something out in their wheelhouse and on the TVA. It doesn't matter which lake on the TVA you pick. I mean, there's current, there's smallmouth, depending on the lake, the smallmouth deal. But
I definitely think when we grow more and the payouts start getting a lot higher, I think more people will be, willing to travel 24
Right.
hours or whatever.
Right. For sure. I think, yeah, you need more states, higher payouts. I think
I'd love to go fish in Florida. I really would.
right. Yeah, Lonnie just weighed down. Yeah, we did okay. I don't remember what we had. I think we had 15 pounds, but I mean, those fish, we ended up catching most of them on a shaky head because they wouldn't even eat a topwater if they were schooling. It was so pressured after that. Oh yeah, so from Louisiana, yeah, it's about a 12-hour drive. What is it for you, Nick?
I think it's like 17 or 18, about that.
17 or 18, right?
I
And
think
for
it's-
us, I think it's 5 for me to check, maybe 6. What about for
think
you? It might be a little longer for you.
7 to
huh,
8
Dave?
hours for me.
Yeah, because you got to go across and down. It's kind of like a straight shot
Mhm.
through Atlanta for me, and then up. But it yeah, we'll have to move it around to make it fair.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And it's not just
There's-
everybody gets an opportunity.
I'll go to New Hampshire. I don't know about what it'd be like in
We
October.
won't do it in
but
New Hampshire. There's way too many rules up here.
Right. It I wouldn't mind going up to Champlain myself, or maybe not Champlain, but like St. Lawrence River, where I'm an aluminum boat guy. I gotta consider waves and wind, and not even
Hey,
just for me.
I went on the St. Lawrence, my aluminum rig.
Yeah,
I
but
couldn't walk too well after, but I did it.
I was about to say you got your brains beat out to know it. I like this one. We talked about this originally.
Yeah.
Kentucky Lake, especially now that the smallmouth are coming back on Kentucky Lake.
Mhm.
Really good from what I've seen in tournament results. I'm about that. I haven't been on Kentucky Lake since I was a little kid.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, it's a beautiful. Is
Yes,
it
it is,
cold?
Lonnie.
Yeah, yeah, it's very
Especially
cold.
for you guys down there, it will be.
Oh yeah, I'd be taping hand warmers to every inch of my body on top of like 9 layers.
I'd be there at launch, but then hang out for an hour or so for the sun.
Right. Douglas Lake, Tennessee. There was something about Douglas Lake for the national that we had problem with.
There was a
Slot
time
limit
of year. Yeah, there was a
The
time
slot
of year
limit.
they had some weird rules. Yeah.
and the drawdown. Yeah, October.
They
the
draw
drawdown.
down huge. And last time
Right.
I fished that was about 7 years ago, and it was drawn so low, but
Right.
it's still a big lake. It's Douglas Lake is good. And there's another one near there. I think it's Cherokee, I believe,
Cherokee Lake, yeah.
that I hear is
Right.
fantastic.
I've heard though Cherokee though, the wind. If you get inline winds from the east to west, I think it is, that place turns nasty from what I understand. But I mean that's any lake. Any lake can turn nasty.
East to west, the fish bite best.
Not on Santee Cooper. East to west, don't go on the main lake. Depending on if it's over 10, don't go. You remember Nick, the ABA
yeah.
there a couple of years ago. That was brutal. That was out of the west.
Eufaula.
Eufaula. That's a good idea. I wouldn't mind a Eufaula Derby either. I haven't seen. I mean, it's always got big bags. It's kind of centrally located.
Zach also
I mean-
has no problem with Champlain because he grew up on that lake.
Oh, that's right. I forgot for some reason, I still equate that he's not active duty and he's from there, even though he's active duty, he's stationed there. Yeah, of course. He wants Champlain. All of the northern
So
guys
where
are weighing
is
in. All
Champlain?
right, southern folks, it's New York, right? Am I
What's
getting it
that?
mixed up? Champlain's New York.
Yeah, it straddles New York and Vermont.
Right. Yeah, way up there.
It's cold.
Yeah, no thanks. I
The
mean,
spawn
even in the
happens
summer,
like mid-June.
July. Yeah. No thanks. Yeah. Okay, yeah, Cherokee's a grinder in October. I think if I remember right, Lonnie fished at BFL there one year in one of the BFL regionals up there. he was telling me about how much it sucked in October. I fished Douglas 2 Octobers ago, and it was like I caught fish, but I could definitely see it was a grind. It was not an easy place to catch fish
It's a
in
tough lake.
October. I mean, I fished it one day and I caught a decent amount of fish, but no weight. But well, let's move on from that.
Yeah.
What do
We
you
got
think
the giveaway or
about?
two, right?
Yeah, we'll knock that out. On the episode ideas, we were gonna run that as a question. Y'all just throw those in the comments. We're starting to run long. We're at an hour 25. We don't want to keep everybody too much longer. Just throw some episode ideas in here for us. That was going to be one of the Q&As. Or if anybody has any more questions real quick while we're finishing up, and we'll answer them real fast. We did have a couple. Never mind, we answered those already. Yeah. If y'all have episode ideas, drop them in the comments. I'll look at them tonight once we close it out. Even if you're watching this on the replay right now, or after the fact, drop a comment for episode ideas. Whatever y'all want to see, we're 100% down to give y'all what you want to see. Obviously, that's really about it. It's time to send you off, Dave.
All right, sir.
Man, thank you for coming on.
It's been a pleasure.
Thanks for, everything you do up there, growing your side of the house. And, you've definitely been a staple in the AFFL so far from the beginning.
Thanks, but
so really thank you for everything you've done and for being our first director one-on-one with us on here.
Yeah, love it.
Right.
I should have shaved, but yeah.
Oh, I mean, I need to shave too. I got to do it tonight.
I have had company since Wednesday. Everybody left today. So
I got you.
I appreciate everything.
Yes,
Keep
sir.
up good
Thank
work.
you.
Again, we wouldn't be anywhere where we're at without you guys. So
right.
I appreciate you two for doing everything that you do. And especially the guys in Virginia. Of course, I'm going to say especially the guys in Virginia in the Virginia leagues. Really appreciate their participation, and hopefully we can get the word out. And I mean, we tripled this year. Maybe we can double next year or more.
Right.
So.
And I don't know if we hammered it, but for all of our anglers, I'm sure it's happening in New York or New Hampshire, down in Louisiana as well. North Carolina hasn't had a lot of participation this year, but the anglers, I mean, we got to give a shout out to them because it's not just us doing it. I mean, them coming, and I mean, some of them are sharing our posts on Facebook. They're taking flyers to places for us. Like I have one, Tom Fulmer. I just got a call the other day. A guy that doesn't have social media found one of our open flyers at Palmetto State Armory that one of my anglers dropped off there for me. And I'm so appreciative of that. And I'm sure there's more that we're not even seeing that our anglers are just doing for us, because it seems so far like our dedicated guys that we've had are just as passionate about this as we are. And I think it's awesome.
It's impossible for us to set up all this stuff by ourselves.
Right.
All the anglers on our league this year, everybody throws in a hand, setting it up, taking it down.
For sure. Yeah.
So
same here.
It's just been been a great group of guys this year. So
yeah, there's never a time when we're setting up where someone doesn't offer to help.
No.
Or,
yeah.
Or anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
After just helped me because I'm old, but
no, they helped me, and I'm all
right, guys.
Old, but.
Sign me off, or I'm going to talk to you for the next 35 more minutes. So
Roger, it's easy to do with you.
All right.
Thanks again.
Take care, gentlemen.
Right, we'll see
chat later.
All right, for sure.
Thanks, boss.
See ya. Bye. Man, that was Dave Hicks. I never had our names on to show who it is. But that was Dave Hicks, our Virginia director. He's done a fantastic job up there running that that brigade. And like we talked about the growth and everything, I'm not going to sit here and repeat everything we said, but I mean, he's done an awesome job, and what a stand-up guy.
Mm-hmm.
And like we said at the beginning, I mean, he's the trifecta. He's the epitome of everybody in our audience. He's done it all. from the active duty military side of the house to the law enforcement, now being involved DOD wide. I mean, he's our full scope, if you will.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool having him on the team. Do you have anything else to hit before we give a little shout out to our sponsors real fast?
No, I think I'm good. Like I said, I just wanting people to get to know the directors and everything. So this is a good way to do it.
Right. Yeah, for sure. And I seen somebody on here. I lost the comment. Mr. Ronnie Mueller. Yeah, so I have some of the winners on to discuss their tournaments. So that was actually the original goal of this episode, was to have Virginia's last qualifier was last weekend, and we wanted to have their team on that won that tournament. They also won Team of the Year. So we were going to break down their season and their tournament last Saturday. Unfortunately, that team couldn't make it, so we took it as an opportunity to break it down with our director. But that's definitely a goal, and if you guys like that, please let us know if that's what y'all want to see. If y'all want to see lake breakdowns, how guys are breaking down their season, how whatever. I mean, really anything, we're down to provide it. Just let us know exactly what y'all want to see. We've got some cool stuff already scheduled coming up next week. We're doing Zach Myatt. I think I'm saying that right. I'm not sure if I'm saying. Am I saying his last name right? Is it Myatt?
Mayotte, I think.
Myatt. Zach, let me know. I'm sorry, man. It just come out that way. But from Louisiana, our Louisiana director, we're gonna do a very similar show to this. Get to know Zach and talk about Louisiana. We're gonna not talk about some of the struggles those guys went through. We're gonna talk about the future of Louisiana's
we're just
brigade
moving forward
and how we're doing it, and how Zach's doing a good job down there moving everything forward and everything like that. But yeah, I don't think we have a whole lot else to cover before we do the giveaway. We're going to talk about our sponsors real quick, so I'm going to give one last thing on the giveaway. Make sure y'all like, share, and comment hashtag the SITREP, just like it's right here on your screen. This is the last chance. As soon as we're done talking about our sponsors for a brief second, we're going to roll straight into the giveaway and get you guys logged out of here. So if I can remember how to do this, I think it's this screen and that screen, and I got to remove that. Okay, it's not that screen. The custom screen I made. I'm learning still. Sorry, guys. So yeah, big shout out to our sponsors. Crazy Hick, Tactical Fishing, Strike King Lose, Hank Parker, Southern Fusion Barbecue, and Yellow Tech. Like we say every week so far, and we'll continue to say, we couldn't do it without these guys as well. I mean, they're helping us out, getting the info out, sharing our posts on Facebook, commenting and all that, and just I think being associated with these people and them allowing us to be associated with them plays a huge role in showing our legitimacy, if that makes sense. I don't know how you feel on that, Nick.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Being
and
involved
just some of
in
these guys that have been with us since day one. I mean,
right, for sure. Yeah,
just for them to step up to the plate and just they supported us before we even started running events.
Exactly, right. I mean, we loyalty, and that's what it's all about. And we're trying to do our best to show them some loyalty, and they're doing great for us. So let's continue to do that for them. And man, we couldn't do it without them. I don't think we could, for real. It's been great. It's been great, and I think it'll just continue to get better with them. Yep. So 1 second while I queue up the. Oh man, I'm messing it up again. I got to figure out these overlay situations. I can't do hotkeys on that. So I'm gonna queue up the giveaway real quick. So we got 19 entries tonight. I did that off there, and let me pull it up on here. Let's see who's gonna get our giveaway tonight. Again?
She won last.
Is this thing rigged? All right, Melissa Hunt. I even threw y'all a surprise in and threw y'all another hat and net gator in there as a welcoming present to Philip. Y'all should be getting that any day. So I'm gonna draw again so we don't have two winners in the same weeks back to back.
Watch it end the owner again.
Or Philip. Philip's in here too. That would be crazy. If it does, it's meant to be. Danny Melinder. Good deal. That's not our first week's winner, is it? No.
I don't remember.
Yes.
All good.
Yeah. Either way, well, you're getting a new hat this time. You're getting the Sunday sit rep. So make sure you send that. Send your address. Hit us up on AFFL-South Carolina or the AFFL's main page, or send us an email, AFFL.SouthCarolina@gmail.com with your address and everything, and we'll get you squared away there and get that shipped out. Nick, I believe that's all we got. Do you have anything else you want to hit up?
No, we're good.
I hear you. Make sure y'all join us next week for Zach Mayotte and Louisiana Sit Rep Sunday at 7, just like it was today. It's not just a brotherhood. Did it again, just like the first week. It's not just a tournament. It's a brotherhood. See y'all.